Dun 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 dun. Guess who's getting married in today's video? Me! I'm really not.
Get married, make babies. You look so old.
I came up with today's concept because our July book of the month is Save the Date by Morgan Madsen, which has been kindly sponsored by Squarespace. So thank you so much to them. Squarespace is an all-in-one build your own website, and I'm going to be talking more about them later on in the video. If you guys want to start your own blog or website, I have an offer for you down in the description box down below. I don't know if you were ever one of those little girls who ever dreamt about getting married. I was kind of that person, kind of. I remember spending hours with my brother playing Barbies and like setting up an entire atmosphere of like wedding extravaganza. And then like, you know, as I started growing older, started not having romantic relationships, I was like, okay, you know what? I will see what my future holds for me. But lately, I have had a lot of friends get married, but it has gotten me to think like, who in my life is gonna be my maid of honor? Like, I don't have a sister, I have a twin brother. One of my cousins? I don't know. But also, like, who are the people who might be my bridesmaid? I don't know if you guys have ever thought about, like, who is going to be standing next to you on the day that you get married. But I thought a fictional character twist might be fun for this. Which fictional characters are going to be your bridesmaids? So this is a tag. If you guys want to do this, I encourage you all. Let's get into who I think might be a good fit for a bridesmaid for me. Basically, my fictional best friends. So I've picked a total of 8 fictional characters who I think will be standing next to me on my fictional wedding day. I would like to have quite the fairy tale wedding. So these girls are gonna be decked out in like ball gowns, okay? This is fictional, so I'm gonna make it as grandiose as I can. I thought this one was kind of easy. I'm gonna choose Elizabeth Darcy as one of my bridesmaids. Elizabeth Bennet, I guess before she got married to Mr. Darcy from Pride and Prejudice. During that time in history, women, all they had to do was think about getting married all the time. Lizzie definitely wasn't the person who wanted to get married, but it just kind of happened to her. So I feel like she would be a really good person to have by my side, like at dress fittings and stuff like that, because she'd be quite practical about things. Basically towards the end of the bridesmaid line, depending on how many bridesmaids you have, because you have to match the groomsmen, towards the end are the people who maybe haven't been in your life the longest, or they don't mean as much to you, even though that sounds absolutely awful. But that is the case for most bridesmaids. So far, I have never been on the end of a bridesmaid line, but I've only been a bridesmaid once. If you guys didn't know anything about Save the Date, it is about a girl who is the maid of honor for her sister. She's getting married, and a lot of things go wrong. It happens in a period of 24 hours. I have never read one of Morgan Madsen's books, so I'm very excited to read this. Next, who I think would be quite fun to have as a bridesmaid would be Cress from Cress by Marissa Meyer. The reason why I picked Cress is because she's super techie. I don't think anyone else on my list is as techie and as suave with technology as Cress. If I have an emergency, like I have a video playing, I have music, something that goes wrong during my big day, she's gonna be the one to fix it for me, and she's gonna be the one to make me feel great, because I know when I get married, I am going to be a bridezilla. That is what's gonna happen. Family and friends, prepare. So my 6th bridesmaid is gonna be Laura Jean from To All the Boys Loved Before. Yee! Her movie is coming out! Jenny Han's movie is coming out, and I feel like Jenny Han honestly would probably be an amazing bridesmaid, and I feel like her character is the embodiment of Jenny Han. She's so good at baking. Honestly, Laura Jean would have an incredible bridal shower put on for me. I can see it now. All of the baked goods, even though I probably won't be eating sugar at that time. But still, I think my guests would really appreciate if I had Laura Jean as one of my bridesmaids. Even though I think Laura Jean doesn't really handle pressure very well, I think she would still be a great bridesmaid. It's really hard to pick bridesmaids in a sort of mundane setting when maybe like they don't have to fight off demons, or they're not, you know, surviving. So I stayed away from the Katnisses. I stayed away from assassins. But I feel like Isabel Lightwood would be a great bridesmaid. I mean, she has a keen eye for style. I'm sure she would be cutthroat when it came to like getting stuff done, especially if I decided to DIY stuff. She would be there to help me. I feel like she's an all-nighter person. She would be sticking by my side at all times, making sure that everything was going as planned, and she would scare people. Honestly, she'd probably be my wedding planner. Okay, this next one, I did want to bring a character from Sarah J. Maas into my bridesmaid circle. You know, Feyre, not so much. I think a character who would rival Isabel Lightwood on being cutthroat would be Nesta. We already know that's at the top of her head is getting married, at least having her sister get married, and she's very protective. I feel a kinship to Nesta. Honestly, if I were to be anyone in Sarah J. Maas's books, I would be Nesta, even though she's awful and horrible. Honestly, we're very similar. She would definitely take charge in so many situations. I would probably put a lot of my trust into her because she is so methodical and calm. Oh my gosh. She would be the person to be calming me down whenever I went like full on bridezilla. Nesta would be an amazing bridesmaid. I was quite happy when I came to that conclusion in my head. I'm like, oh, yes. Also, like, I just came to the conclusion that I am very similar to Nesta. I am very excited to read what's gonna be next for her. So we have one more bridesmaids until I hit my Maids of Honor. Yes, I picked 2. So my next bridesmaid would have to be Willow Dean from Dumplin'. We have so much in common. I feel like we would be best friends in real life, honestly. If you guys have never read Dumplin', please do. Willow Dean would know my insecurities about finding a dress. That's one of the biggest things I'm really scared about whenever I get married. Plus size fashion has caught up a lot, but has bridal plus size fashion been able to catch up as well? I want the dress that I've envisioned in my head for a really long time, but is it gonna fit me? I think Willow Dean would really understand that struggle. I don't know why I put her so far up, just because I feel like there's a kinship between us because I've been in her brain before, like many other these characters, but still, I feel like she would understand me. Next, my Maids of Honor. Actually, they're both married, so they're matrons of honor. Having 2 is perfectly fine. I can have 2. I'm not cheating the system. So many of my friends have already had 2 Maids of Honor because they can't just choose one. So my first matron of honor is going to be Claire Fraser. Even though we are not matched in age, she just would be the most calming person. Having someone older in your party is great just because they know more people and they've been through more life and they know the right things to say, especially if she's married. I mean, her wedding wasn't like the greatest thing ever. Both of her weddings weren't. She would prepare me. I mean, she was drunk the night before of her wedding, but still. Well, maybe Claire wouldn't be the greatest bridesmaid. It's okay. The next one's gonna make up for it. Okay, and last, my ultimate maid of honor, the one that I would want and that I have been wanting for all of my life, is Alice Cullen. Alice Cullen has been like the ultimate BFF that I've always wanted. She's amazing at fashion, although being is that like I love fashion, I love clothes, and I love hair and makeup, I feel like we would be like in constant battle between like who is better. I would trust her to like do my hair and makeup, even though I know I'm gonna do my own hair and makeup on my wedding day. Not anyone's gonna touch this. I can do this the best, not anyone else. Maybe Renee Athia. I might be able to let go of the reins and give Alice all of that. I would probably have to like make her, I don't know, like I would want to have a lot of control over my wedding, so I would need to have a good talk with Alice first. I might even switch Alice and Nesta, because I feel like Nesta would allow me to have my own opinions on stuff, and Alice would just be like, it's fine, I know best. Oh man, I'm just gonna have a really dramatic wedding. Those are my fictional bridesmaids. They're all book characters, only like one, okay, some of them are like have been turned into TV shows or movies. If you guys decide to do this video, please leave a link to it down below. Thank you again to Squarespace. If you guys didn't know about Squarespace, again, it is an all-in-one build your own website. I am currently right now working on the Fiction Faction website for Squarespace. I can't wait to unveil it. This would be great for anyone who is starting their own business or a blog. It also has a store page so you guys can sell your own stuff. I have made my fair share of websites. I used to be an entertainment blogger and I worked on the site Page to Premiere. I had my own website. I made Christine's website. So So far I've never experienced a website maker that's extremely easy to use, but also unique. I always strive to be unique and different. I don't really like those cookie cutter sites where like you just drag and drop. It's gonna look like every other website. Squarespace, you can definitely switch up your website and how it looks from everyone. You can also buy your domain on there, which is great. You don't have to go through like another service and then like put it into Squarespace. That whole process is completely confusing. I've had to deal with buying a domain, making my website, buying the theme, finding a system that will host the site. It's not fun. Keep your eye out for when I will publish our Fiction Faction website. Fiction Faction is so near and dear to my heart. I love all the ladies who have come and joined us, and for everyone who has read books with us. Don't forget that our July book of the month is Save the Date. Our live show is going to be at the end of July. I think we're thinking Monday, July 30th, which is the beginning of the BookTubeathon, so I don't know if that's a good time to do a live show, but it is. If you guys would like to get 10% off your first website, you can go to squarespace.com/tashapolis. It'll be down in the description box down below. Start making your own websites. In the comments down below, please tell me who you think your fictional maid of honor would be, or if you guys agree with me about Nesta being an amazing bridesmaid. I think I was pretty smart in that decision. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm Natasha. I'll see you guys all in the future. Keep calm and fangirl on. Bye!